So, if ghosts can teach class, and portraits can lead Snape on a wild goose chase and keep students safe, why can't portraits teach classes? You'll find out right after this. Hey everybody, I am Taylor from Beard vs. Geek, where I show you how it is okay to be a man and a geek at the same time. Today we are waving our wands, if you know what I mean, and we're talking about Harry Potter. In Harry Potter, there is a massive staff shortage every single year, due to Lord Voldemort cursing the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, making it so that every teacher can only teach 1 year before they leave the position in some way, shape, or form. Now, as we see in Hogwarts, we have paintings all over the freaking place who talk to people and give them some information or lead them out on quests, or who get drunk or guard passages or do all sorts of kind of things. The portrait of Dumbledore led Snape and guided him through the whole Deathly Hallows thing. So why the hell didn't someone grab a portrait of someone who is good at Defense Against the Dark Arts and then shove them on the wall of the classroom and said, teach Defense Against the Dark Arts? You think that would be like an easy solution to fix their problems, right? I mean, really, it's not too much of a stretch. You have a ghost teaching history of magic. So why don't they grab a portrait and do this? Well, simply because they can't. Now, although portraits do have some magical properties to them, it is not really the painter who creates the portrait who determines the amount of capacity that the people in the portrait will have. And now, I know this is a little confusing, but even though the painter does need to use some magic in order to make the painting come to life, because if not, then it would be a stupid muggle painting, and you know, those aren't boring at all. The thing is that the abilities of the people in magical portraits are directly proportional to the magic capability that the person had in real life. So someone who's like crazy freaking good, like Merlin, would have a portrait that is imbued with more powers than the average Joe wizard who happens to get painted by their nephew or something. So that is why you have some portraits in Hogwarts who only like curtsy and wave to people, and you have others who get completely drunk, and you have others who can guard passageways and get drunk on the weekends. You know who I'm talking about. And you have others who can go on mighty quests and who can act like a freaking jackass, because that's how they were in real life. But you also have people like Headmasters of Hogwarts, who were really freaking awesome, badass wizards and witches whose portraits have a lot more magical capacities. And that is because one of the practices of Hogwarts headmasters and headmistresses is that they get their painting done rather early in their career. And they usually have that portrait somewhere hanging around in a secret place where they can teach that portrait how to be more like them. So although that portrait does have some initial capacities when it is first painted by the creator and imbued with that magic, it has the capacity to learn if the original owner teaches them how to learn and how to share information with others if they happen to need it, like the portrait of Albus Dumbledore in Deathly Hallows. So when it comes to actually teaching a class, you would have to be very particular on what portrait you use. The second thing that makes it super freaking hard is that the portrait is two-dimensional and cannot actually physically do stuff. So although they can give information, and although they can like gesture and like grab people from other portraits, they can't actually like hold a wand or like perform any magic, unless it's in their own portrait's ability. So when Phineas Nigellus is not helping Dumbledore and you have another headmistress saying, "Do you want me to curse him, Dumbledore?" That's actually a legitimate threat for the other guy in the portrait, because that's a realm where they can interact. But they cannot interact with Albus Dumbledore apart from being verbal or visual. This right here. It's like me on the screen. I can only do so much. I can interact with the stuff on the screen, but I can't actually interact with you. I can reach out and see if I can grab you, but I can't. So with ghosts, why the hell do they get to teach classes? What makes Professor Binns so freaking high and mighty on his ghost butt that he gets to teach the history of magic? Well, one, he knew all about that stuff when he died. Two, he can interact with three-dimensional objects. We have Peter the Poltergeist interacting with 3D objects all the freaking time. And like Ghost can as well, so he can actually grade papers. And 3, he doesn't actually need to perform any magic. So let me know what you think about portraits, and if we had the capability, what portrait would you have teach a class in your high school or university? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Great videos are coming out every week where I show you how it is okay to be a man and a geek at the same time. You can click right here for an awesome video about Sir Codogan, or right here for some more manliness and geekiness. Because after all, if the women don't find you manly, they should at least find you geeky. And until next time, beard on, bro.